Here's what I'm going to teach American people. American flag is 13 stripes, 13 colonies. You know, it's amazing when I go and speak and travel all over this country and I ask people to name me the 13 colonies. They cannot tell them. They come up with 10, 11, 12, but I hardly found anybody to know the 13 colony, where we came from, the foundation of this country. And then the 50 star. Why we don't have one big star? Why we have 50 star? Because the 50 individual state. But that's not what the government want today. They want to control every state to make it one big star. As a matter of fact, this administration, which we hold right now, which run our country right now, they want to make the whole world one star. We'll all be equal to everybody else. American flag. The white and blue and red. And you ask people, what the white stand for? What the blue stand for? Why they choose the red color? The purity, the freedom, the courage. People don't know. We're losing the fact for what is American flag present. Do you know that the American flag is the only flag is not made in America? It's made in China. The reason because we American people are cheap. I can go to Walmart now and I buy American flag made in China for $12.99, or I buy an American flag costs $30. So obviously I'm going to get the cheap one. I mean, how many flag American people buy every year? Once every 5 years when they get old, they buy a new one. Why can't we buy a flag made in America? Now, do you know that also the American flag is the only flag have no respect of its people? For the law of the United States of America gave me the freedom to burn the flag of the United States of America. You cannot, and I dare any American to go to Saudi Arabia or go to Egypt and make our flag, just the tip of our flag, touch the ground, or try to start a fire in an Egyptian flag. You as an American will be burned before the flag will be burned. After long discussion, the senators decided 5-6 years ago under Bush that there is no such a thing as you cannot burn the flag or disgrace the American flag. And they call this freedom of expression. I said, freedom of expression, that's freedom of stupidity. And today in America, if you are a fireman, or if you are a student, or if you are some American citizen who live in some gated community, you cannot fly the American flag because they consider it a personal item. Excuse me, American flag is a personal item? That is the situation where we are today. So we like to change. American people like to change. So we're going to do a little bit change the flag. Notice what's happened to the flag here. Slowly we lose where we come from, the 13th colony. And then we lose the 50th state and we become what? White flag. That's when your president, Barack Hussein Obama, bowed down to the foreign king, King Abdulaziz, the Saudi king. And is that the change you look for, America? Is that the change you believe in? It's sad to see this happening in front of our eyes in such time. We're going to watch a little bit video here. I know this is history, and I know, history repeats itself. If we have not learned anything from what took place in Egypt 1,400 years ago, when Muslims came to Egypt, was the leadership of Umar ibn al-As, and they invade our country. And if we're not learning anything of what took place in Scotland, as we're going to see in this video, of how William Wallace were fighting and encouraging his people to fight for Scotland to be set free from the British. And I hope we can even watch what's happening today. For Muslims in Europe are doing a great job. If we just look outside to what's happening in France and Germany and in Holland and Ireland, in England and all over Europe, we maybe can learn a good lesson that we will not allow this to happen to us here in America. Let's watch this video together.
I am William Wallace, and I see a whole army of my countrymen here in defiance of tyranny. You've come to fight as free men, and free men you are. What will you do with that freedom? Will you fight?
Fight against that? No! We will run!
And we will live. Aye. Fight and you may die. Run and you'll live. At least a while. And dying in your beds many years from now, would you be willing to trade all the days from this day to that for one chance, just one chance, to come back here and tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
I love the statement where William Moss told his people here in Scotland, what you live for without freedom. And I don't think American people realize the beauty of the freedom of America because you are taking it for granted. You have not lived without freedom. If you have lived in some other country like myself for a week or a month and you come back to America, you will appreciate this land. You will kiss the dirt of America for the freedom we have here. But since we have not lived in the other side, in the other country where you don't have freedom, we don't even really appreciate the freedom we have here. He said, we will not fight. We will just appease the people around us and we'll just serve the people of England and we'll live. He said, yes, you can do that. Because if you fight, you may die. But years from now, and I'm not saying years from now, I say 50 years from now, American, your children, perhaps for sure, your grandchildren will curse the day to have you as grandfathers and grandmothers, for you have done nothing to fight for their freedom. And I have a wonderful verse here in the Bible. It's very important, really, to understand why country destroy, why people destroy. What causes America to lose the power which God has given, the freedom and the beauty of this land? Why we lose it? It's very simple, because of this verse. In Hosea, that's a book in the Old Testament, chapter 4, verse 6, the Bible said,
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
It's about knowledge. We don't know anything about Islam, and Islam is growing in our country. Islam is not growing in America to be another religion. Islam is growing in America to take over America. We have no idea what Islam is, and the worse than that, we don't want to know what Islam is. Not only we're ignorant of Islam, we're arrogant, we're not interested to learn anything about Islam. And I know this to be a fact, for I call churches all over this country. And literally, for every 100 church we call, we get one or two who are interested to have me to speak and tell the truth about Islam. So it's not because there's not somebody here to tell the truth. No, we don't want to know. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou rejected knowledge. Rejection of knowledge is the state of America. We don't want to know anything about Islam. And believe it or not, as I travel all over this country and I meet with people all over the state, I start talking with them about Islam. When I get serious about quoting verses from the Quran or quoting statement of Muhammad the Hadith, people literally turn their back on it. They want to go away. In every court case we have been, which have something to do with honor killing or some Muslim attack in America or some Muslim way of taking over our country, was like in the case of CARE. The moment we tell the media, they come in there with their cameras and everything is great. The moment I start quoting the verse of the Quran, they turn their cameras off. It's like they're not interested. They don't want to know the truth about Islam. And that will destroy America. Not because we don't know only, we don't want to know. And that is a fact about the state of America. Now, what is freedom? We went to the dictionary to say, what does the word freedom mean? Maybe if we understand what the word freedom is, maybe we will wake up and hold on to what we got to continue to be a free world, a free country. So I found the first explanation of freedom is
the quality of being frank, open, or outspoken.
Do we have this in America today? We're losing it. Slowly, they will tell you, you can't say that, you can't say that, you can't do that. Where is the freedom of speech? Do you know that Muslims have freedom to say anything they want to say about Islam, but I, as a Christian, I cannot say anything against Islam. They will come to our universities and they say, Jesus is not the Son of God, and Jesus did not die on the cross, and he never rose from the dead. Says who? Says Muhammad. And they have no problem to say that. But I could not go in the same classroom, speak to the same student and say, Muhammad is a false prophet. Muhammad is a liar. Because they consider my speech is hate, but their speech is freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is you say all what you have, outspoken, openly, without any ties. What else about freedom? From the dictionary,